Good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to the JRC. First, the disclaimers. Folks, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, all pertinent links are right there in the description box. We have Autistic Hoya's massive archive, where we get literally 99.9% of our material in regards to the JRC from. We also have Neuroclastics article where they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. It did get so deep under their skin they threatened Neuroclastic with a defamation lawsuit, so please share it, read it. You know the drill. We got a link to Neuroclastic's GoFundMe as well, because unlike the JRC, we do not have access to unlimited funds. More's to pity. Because believe me, if I did, y'all would know. Me and my cat over there would be on some beach with a stack of books on either side of me that reaches tall as about around where my height is when standing, and you would probably never hear from my ass again. You probably would, let's face it. I am what I am, and yeah. Even when it becomes a political mess minefield like we're navigating now, it's like a bug going into the bug zapper, I tell you, I can't help it. Anyways, to the trigger warnings, folks, when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and watching, parental supervision is advised. So where we left off, for where we were last time. Okay. During this time, RM was also prescribed the psychotropic medication Ativan, which proved ineffective. What? Who in the name of God considers Ativan a psychotropic medication? I sincerely need whoever wrote this insanity to stop smoking crack before they begin to type this nonsense. Ativan is an anti-epileptic medication. People who take Ativan are not taking it to deal with self-injurious behaviors or aggressive behaviors. Ativan is for after you've had a seizure. And either yourself, if you're cognitive enough, or if you're not, a family member will stick the tablet underneath the tongue where it dissolves and sends the person to sleep so that their body can physically recover from the seizure and to prevent any further seizures from happening. It has jack shit to do with self-injurious behavior or aggressive behavior. How in the hell has this place not been shut down for medical malpractice? So, JRC has admitted that they don't know what positive behavioral reinforcement even is, nor how to utilize it. And now they're admitting to us that they lie even in regards to psychotropic medication. I hope it's a lie. In this one instance, I really do hope that's a lie. Because if you're trying to tell me that the so-called experts they have consulting the judges do not know what Ativan is actually prescribed for, and actually believes that that medication is prescribed to deal with aggressive behavior and self-injurious behavior, then how in the name of God is it still operating? How many kids have these people taken off of necessary anti-epilepsy medications? Because this is getting more dangerous than even I thought. Okay? Somebody can get killed. You ever seen someone in a grand mal? I've seen it multiple times. It is extremely scary. I had to act as someone with all my strength to help hold their limbs and put them in a position where they won't choke and die off of their own spittle, and to keep them from punching or kicking themselves and doing irreparable harm while they are in them. I have been the person afterwards to immediately, for a great deal of work, get that tablet underneath the tongue, specifically Ativan. Okay? It's not a joke. If you haven't seen it, maybe people don't know exactly how dangerous it can be. But if this is supposed to be the case, where these people are supposed to be goddamn doctors, and they are knowingly taking these kids off of anti-epileptic medication and saying, but our torture device will help with the behaviors. It's not a behavior problem, you dumbass. It's a seizure problem. That is what Ativan is for. It's not used to deal with behaviors. But it's a very strong medication. Yes, it is a very strong medication. It needs to be a strong medication. It's not something that someone is supposed to take every day. It is a medication that you need to have on hand for those exact type of situations I just explained. It's not something you use regularly. It's something you use immediately after a seizure has taken place. It has nothing to do with self-injurious or aggressive behavior. Unless what they're trying to say here, because remember, their idea of aggressive behavior is standing up in their seat for longer than 3 seconds without express verbal permission. Unless you're going to try and convince me that the involuntary muscular movements the human body goes through when it is in the grips of a grand mal seizure, where the person's not cognitive, they have no control, literally zero, in regards to what their body is doing. Unless the JRC is trying to say, well, that's aggressive or self-injurious behavior. And if that's the case, I state again, what in the name of fuck is wrong with you? Because it sounds like the JRC doesn't seem to recognize the difference between involuntary muscle movements and when someone's getting up to go, skull stomp someone. One area, there's at least a smidgen of control. When someone's having a seizure, that is not a behavior. They are not willfully making their muscles move like that. They are not willfully being knocked into a subconscious state. This is not happening because it is something they willed. It's what happens during a seizure. To try in any way, shape, or form to then try to say that Ativan that is to be used after such a seizure to help with rest and recovery afterwards, to try and sit there and say that it is something that is supposed to help with self-injurious behavior or aggressive behavior, who the fuck wrote this? Is it a doctor? Is it a clinician? A nurse? Direct care staff? Who put this shit together? Because they need to not just get a license or certification revoked. They need to be never allowed within 50 miles of a singular human person ever again. What the hell do you mean by that sentence? That is not that particular drug's purpose. I have never in my life, and I'm 40, have ever heard of any doctor prescribing Ativan to deal with self-injurious behavior or aggressive behavior. I have literally never heard of it. And remember, I worked for the Southwest region, Southwest Missouri Department of Mental Health. Okay? One of the workshops I actually did was to train both Mercy and Cox personnel in regards to literally dealing with a neurodivergent in an ER setting, in particular when something like that's going on. There's seizures, they're scared, okay? I know what I'm talking about. Ativan is not prescribed to deal with difficult behaviors. It is prescribed to deal with seizures. Point blank, period. To even see that sentence and know that people, parents, have the same access to records that I do, that you do. How can you read through something like this and nod and say, yeah, no, they're right? No. Ativan is not a drug that is generally prescribed by mental health practitioners. It's usually prescribed by primary care doctors, neurologists, specialists that actually deal directly with people who have one of the many different forms of epilepsy. For the exact reason I stated, there is, to my knowledge, never been any case I've ever heard of where Ativan was used to deal with self-injurious or aggressive behavior. Ever. ever. Well, what drugs have you heard about, Tiff? Let's see. Seroquel, Wellbutrin, Zoloft, which I was on, Paxil, my nice little pink miracle pill that has brought me back at least a little bit of my sanity and has allowed me to function again like a productive adult. Those types of medications. Okay? Xanax. You know? They don't prescribe Ativan. That drug has a very specific purpose. To say that he was prescribed that and that didn't help either, gee, you fucking think? Could it be because that's not what Ativan's purpose is? That perhaps the reason why they gave you the Ativan was to not feed it to him like it's coming out of a Pez dispenser and it not affecting the behaviors, but it's that just in case medication to be used after seizure. And am I also supposed to believe that nobody informed you exactly what that drug is, what it is prescribed for, and when you're supposed to use it? Because I'm pretty damn sure that that would have been in the kid's medical history that you all received before he got enrolled into your school. If it was prescribed afterwards, whichever physician prescribed it, I'm pretty goddamn sure that they gave you all very explicit instructions in regards to what that medicine is, what it's used for, and when it's supposed to be dispensed. And if literally none of these things happen, then what even are we fucking doing here? Close yourselves down. You don't have the first idea what the hell you're doing. Oh my god. I'm sorry, folks. I gotta close out after that and take a few minutes. We'll get to the last video here in a moment. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you all after I manage to get myself to calm down. God damn. I was not prepared for that. Bye, everyone. Once I can get the mouse to